happiness and good fortune. And so it's not really considered a national holiday, but most people take it as that. So I think in Chicago, they actually used to dye the river green. So the river going through Chicago turns green on St. Patrick's Day. And I think they do a lot of celebration, if you know what I mean. Green beer.
Green beer.
So we don't, in my family, traditionally we have the corned beef. That's a traditional St. Patrick's Day meal. We gather as a family. I'm going to my brother-in-law's tonight, and we're going to actually have corned venison for dinner. So we have lots of deer in our area.
Thanks, Darren. So we are still awaiting some panelists. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we are waiting for Mr. Cherian. And okay, before we go ahead, we'll just start the session in around 5 minutes. But before that, I think we have in our panelist, Pallavi Singha Roy. I think it's her birthday. So happy birthday, Pallavi.
Happy birthday, Pallavi. You must have enjoyed the day.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday,
It means thank you, Gunsa. Thank you, Neeraj
Happy
sir.
birthday, Pallavi, ma'am.
Thank you, Amrita. Thank you all, my dear panelists, and thank you all the attendees. I must say, thank you, India. Thank you, my on-passive entire family, to make this day a very special to me. And I've really enjoyed the day today. And thank you, Team Champion platform as well. My on-passive family, this birthday gives me a lot of love. Entire day, enjoyed a lot. Thank you. Please, Neeraj sir, continue the webinar. Thank you.
Happy birthday, madam.
Thank you, Kovasik sir.
Birthday wishes to you. And Neeraj ji, everyone is here. Let me see. Oh, wow.
2 persons are missing. Yeah, I like Harish Sharma's background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We are waiting for 2 more people. One is Mr. Therian and one is one more gentleman, Sudarshan. If you see panelists, you can actually.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
Josh Cherian?
Yes.
I can see him. Okay, I sent him panel link also. Okay, Mr. Josh Cherian, if you are listening to us, please accept the message coming on your mobile screen. Okay. Yes, he is here.
Great. So the only one left out is Mr. Sudarshan.
So we can wait for 1 more minute and then we can start the session. In meanwhile, I'll keep looking, and if as soon as he is there,
Yes.
I will add him.
Amrita Shaw, like, is it possible to be on camera?
Yes, sir, just give me 2 minutes, sir.
Okay.
The video is not showing.
Sorry?
It says unable to start video.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get it done. Just
Okay.
a minute also. I have the audio on, but video is not on.
Yeah, not a problem.
Just let me see if I can get some help.
Sure.
Just hold on a second, sir. You can start, I'll join. Who are the technical experts? Yeah, which year? First year, second year? First year, any second, third year here? Start please. Audio. Okay. How can we do it? Video, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. You want to video also? Yeah.
We are just giving a minute or two.
Close, first close.
Close, okay.
Yes, sir. First close. Rejoin.
Video on all. Only class are. I think it's already waiting for the sir. Messenger. This one more. Not lunch meeting. Meeting, lunch meeting. Is it? Yeah.
So we are already live in YouTube, and yeah, I understand sometimes things do not happen as planned. So that's part and parcel of being live. So
I am restarting the video.
yeah, but if you can mute yourself because everybody is able to hear you.
Okay.
Practice from Google.
Thank you, Amrita. Now we see your video.
Yes. Namaskar. Very good evening to all of you.
Kaushik, shall we start?
Only sound.
Yes, Neeraj ji, we can start. Please proceed.
There is
Best of luck.
Okay. So welcome to today's webinar. So first of all, wishes for every founder who is watching this webinar. If you are in US, it's in wish you. Daryl, do we wish happy St. Patrick's Day, or how does it? Yeah. So happy St. Patrick's Day, and if you are in India or any neighboring country where where Holi is played, or all over the world, then happy Holi. So welcome to today's webinar. Today's topic is all about education and how on-passive is disrupting education. And today in our panel, we have people from the field of education. Rather than telling you individual names as we go forward, they will introduce themselves. So first, we'll first start with the ladies. Mamta ji, are you available? Mamta ji.
Hello, sir. Just give me 10 minutes. Please.
Okay. 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 So let's start with Amrita.
Yes,
Hi,
sir.
Amrita. So,
Hello, sir.
welcome to today's webinar. So, Amrita, can you first of all introduce yourself? People,
Yes,
let people know who you are.
definitely. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all India and everyone. तो बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आप सभी का आज के इस ब्यूटीफुल से प्लेटफॉर्म पे। तो मैं अमृता साव आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ और मैं आप लोगों को कुछ बताना चाहती हूँ। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग मी the opportunity to introduce myself in this beautiful platform. I am Amrita Saw. I am from Kolkata, India. I have completed my master's in commerce, master's in library and information science, academic research in the field of library and information science, and I am an artist. As a art related work I have done so many years. So I have 15 years experience in the teaching students of all level. I serve myself as a library teacher, library professional in different libraries, and drawing and art and craft teacher in our society. And now I am a proud founder of On Passive. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amrita. So, when did you join On Passive?
It was 20 July 2020.
20. Okay, and like each person generally has a why, a big why of joining On Passive. Or so, can you do you also have any particular why you joined On Passive?
Yes, sir. I have why I joined On Passive. Because if we clarify ourselves, why we are here, why we join On Passive, why we choose this platform, why? As a library professional, I know the digital era. I know the digital library. I work with the digital library, digitization and all. Before 11 years ago. So I know the difference between the traditional library and digital library and all. So when I saw the platform, then I can easily understand what is the future of this platform. It is the actually a big umbrella. In a way, one umbrella, we get the so many wonderful products and we can easily grab it and understand it. So according to me as a library professional, here one basic thing is fulfilled. According to library information science, the fourth law of library science is fulfilled here. Use the save the time of the user. Okay, so most of the students, teachers, parents, everyone, they can join the On Passive. Now they can save the time. So if actually how we earn money, if we provide our subjective time to the others, then we earn the money. Nah. So if we join this beautiful platform, then we can save our time. No need to earn, no need to serve ourselves here and there. No need to waste our time here and there. Directly join this platform and we use our platform easily and definitely we save our time. So with the help of the subjective time, we can utilize our time for our requirement things. So as a library professional, as a teacher, I want to serve my society as a teacher. That is why I joined here and I reach the so many wonderful children here around the globe, because it is a beautiful platform. Academy and Academy and O Connect, both are very helpful to me because it is a multilingual languages are available here. If I can speak in my regional language, around more than 108 languages, I think so. So translated in around the globe. So each and every child can join me directly and I can serve myself as a teacher to them. So that is why I'm here, sir. Thank you so much.
Great. So you have been in the education profession for a long time. So
Yes.
you must have identified maybe the challenges that are there in today's system, and you must have also seen the education system, especially in India, evolving. So can you just let know the audience about it? and also maybe how on passive is going to help according to you in the broader picture.
Yes, sir, definitely I can say, because it is on passive is a total internet solution, definitely. And it is a smart business solution. Everybody knows. So multiple world-best digital platform in a one area. Okay, this is the directly automation, security, reliability, and so on. These are the basic features of the on passive. So with the help of all these relevant points, we can easily understand it breaks all geographical boundaries. So we no need to move here and there. We no need to spread our time. We no need to spend our specific time, and we can sit in our place and we can just join the on passive, and just with the help of our product, we can share our knowledge through around the globe. And it is easy to join, easy to use, and user friendly platform. Actually, so many platforms, they are not a user friendly. So if it is a user friendly, then anyone can join and anyone can easily grab the knowledge from this platform. So it is too much helpful for everyone. Even a small child also can join the, just log in the our platform and grab the knowledge easily with the help of our beautiful platform. So I think about it, sir.
Thank you very much, Amrita,
Thank you, sir.
for your participation.
Thank you.
And Kaushik ji, I think there is Mr. Sudarshan who has raised his hand. So Sudarshan, if you just type in there, you should be able to see him. So if you could bring him in the panel. So, okay. Next, we have. Okay. By the way, this is not specifically a English session. Of course, if you talk English, since we invite foreigners, it will be simpler for them also. That is why we have chosen English. However, if you are not comfortable in English, you are open to talk Hindi, so no problem. So next we have Mr. Harish Sharma. Welcome, Harish.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Namaskar, all of you, all the panelists and all founders. First of all, happy Holi to all of you. It's a festival of colors, and on passive definitely brings many colors in our life. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Harish ji, can you introduce yourself? Like आपका background और आपके background के बारे में बताएंगे?
Yes, sir, definitely. Definitely, Neeraj sir, I am very comfortable in Hindi right now. तो साथियों नमस्कार. Myself Harish Sharma from Bahadurgarh, Haryana. Basically, मैं एक गवर्नमेंट टीचर हूँ, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ हरियाणा. प्राइमरी लेवल, बेसिक लेवल और छोटे छोटे बच्चों के साथ डेफिनेटली एंजॉय करते हैं. और जब 98 के अंदर मैंने डिप्लोमा इन एजुकेशन किया, देन आई स्टार्ट जॉब इन प्राइवेट स्कूल. आफ्टर दैट आई ज्वाइंड मल्टी लेवल मार्केटिंग इन 1998 में मैं मल्टी लेवल मार्केटिंग फील्ड में आया और देन कंटिन्यू करते रहे. और लास्ट ईयर अगस्त 2020 को मैं ऑन पैसिव के अंदर एंटर हुआ सर.
ओके, तो अगस्त 2020 को आपने ज्वाइन किया. तो अगस्त लाइक हर एक का रीजन होता है, तो आपका कुछ रीजन था या ऐसे ही कुछ मनी कमाने के लिए या स्पेसिफिक रीजंस थे कुछ?
Definitely, Neeraj sir, money is very first motivation factor for all of you, all of us, definitely. But क्योंकि मैं मल्टी लेवल मार्केटिंग में 23 साल रहा, तो मल्टी लेवल मार्केटिंग बिजनेस के जो भी कमियां, खूबियां या जो कुछ भी रही, उन सारी चीजों से मैं बहुत नजदीक से वाकिफ रहा. लाखों लोगों का नेटवर्क बनाना कितना टफ होता है, और वो फिर चंद दिनों में और महीनों में जब बिखर जाता है तो बड़ा पेन होता है। ऑन पैसिव के को ज्वाइन करने का जो मेरा रीजन था वो ये था कि यहाँ इट्स नॉट ए एमएलएम नहीं है, तो यू नॉट नीड टू मेक ए टीम और मेक ए सेल एवरी मंथ कंटिन्यूअसली। तो ज्वाइन करने का एक फर्स्ट रीजन ये था सर। आफ्टर दैट जब अटेंड करे वेबिनार्स हमने देखे हैं तो समझ में आया, तो और बहुत सारे रीजन क्रिएट हुए, लेकिन ज्वाइन करने का एक रीजन था कि इट्स नॉट ए एमएलएम, सो नो नीड टू मेक ए टीम, इट्स ए कंफर्टेबल फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस एंड इट्स ए पैसिव, रियल पैसिव इनकम हियर।
Thank you. So, like you are in the education field in Haryana. So can you talk about something about that? Like आप कौन से education यानी अभी आप as a आपका profession क्या है, और मे बी आपका जो education field का थोड़ा सा journey के बारे में बताएंगे?
राइट सर, डिप्लोमा तो मैंने 1998 में कर लिया था, लेकिन जो मेरी जॉब लगी गवर्नमेंट जॉब के अंदर आया मैं 2011 के अंदर। और टीचिंग मेरा पैशन भी रहा है, बच्चों के साथ मजा आता है, वो मेरा इंटरेस्ट का विषय रहा। तो जैसे टीचिंग में आए तो प्राइवेट सेक्टर में तो हम सभी लोग देखते ही हैं, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर के अंदर जो बच्चे आते हैं टीचिंग मतलब पढ़ने के लिए, मतलब वो बहुत ही लोअर कैटेगरी से आते हैं ऐसा हम बोल सकते हैं, या इलिटरेट रहते हैं उनके माँ बाप, या दोनों मदर एंड फादर वर्किंग में रहते हैं, तो बड़े मतलब एक थोड़ा सा असमंजस वाली स्थिति के बच्चे हमारे साथ आते हैं। तो उन बच्चों के साथ टीचिंग करना शुरू किया। फिर देन आफ्टर आई प्लेड ए रोल ऑफ एमटी इन एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट, मास्टर ट्रेनर लाइक दैट, और टीचर्स को ट्रेनिंग दिया, क्योंकि एजुकेशन एक बहुत बड़ा विषय है हमारे इंडिया के लिए स्पेशली। जब हम बात एजुकेशन की करते हैं सर, तो ये एक बहुत वास्ट विषय है, और शिक्षा किसी भी देश के लिए सबसे महत्वपूर्ण विषय है। अगर देश को आगे बढ़ाना है तो डेफिनेटली हमें एजुकेशन के अंदर काम करने की आवश्यकता है। लेकिन फिलहाल हमारा जो करिकुलम है, बहुत सारे ड्रॉबैक्स रहे हैं। करिकुलम है, द मेथड ऑफ इवैल्यूएशन, और बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जिनके अंदर आज अगर हम वर्तमान में देखें, आप और हम अपने परिवार से भी देखें, तो आज हम अपने बच्चों को या जो भी लोग अपने बच्चों को टीच कर रहे हैं, ज्यादातर वो फोकस करते हैं ओनली फॉर स्कोरिंग, मार्क्स 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 एंड ओनली मार्क्स, नॉट कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर मेथड। ये आप बच्चे को कुछ समझ में आ रहा है या नहीं आ रहा है उस चीज से मतलब नहीं है, बच्चा आपको नंबर अच्छे आने चाहिए। क्यों? क्योंकि आज एजुकेशन का जो मतलब हो चुका है हम सभी लोगों के लिए, वो है केवल जॉब। नो बेटर एजुकेशन, नो बेटर मार्क्स, नो बेटर डिप्लोमा एंड डिग्रीज एंड नो जॉब, बेटर जॉब। और एजुकेशन इज आज हम सभी के लिए केवल एक जॉब का एक आईना बन चुकी है कि भैया आप नहीं अच्छे पढ़ोगे, नहीं अच्छे नंबर आएंगे तो अच्छे यूनिवर्सिटी और कॉलेज के अंदर एडमिशन नहीं मिलेगा, देन नो बेटर जॉब फॉर। और बेटर जॉब पाना और गवर्नमेंट जॉब पाना, ये एक उद्देश्य केवल शिक्षा का आज निरसर बन चुका है। और अगर हम बात करें एजुकेशन की, तो मैं कोट करना चाहूंगा, एक बहुत बड़े एजुकेशनिस्ट हुए हैं, उन्होंने एक बात बोली कि एजुकेशन इज नॉट द अमाउंट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन दैट इज पुट इन आवर ह्यूमन ब्रेन, इट मस्ट हैव मैन मेकिंग, कैरेक्टर मेकिंग एंड लाइफ बिल्डिंग एसिमिलेशन ऑफ आइडियाज। अगर हम यहाँ पर ऑन पैसिव को रिलेट करके देखते हैं कि ऑन पैसिव जो ओकेडमी का एक प्लेटफॉर्म लेकर आ रहा है, डेफिनेटली वो एक रिवॉल्यूशन होने जा रहा है एजुकेशन के अंदर। आज हम निरसर देखते हैं कि हम बच्चा 10th करता है, देन 12th, देन ग्रेजुएशन, एंड आफ्टर दैट व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस बॉय एंड स्टूडेंट। आज अगर मार्केट की बात करें तो एक ग्रेजुएट बच्चा मार्केट में जाता है तो डेफिनेटली वो क्या लर्न करके जा रहा है, दैट्स नॉट ए मैटर। उसके मार्कशीट के अंदर क्या है, दैट्स मैटर वो। और लेकिन वैल्यू आज एक ग्रेजुएट की मार्केट के अंदर क्या है, बाय अगर फाइनेंशियली अगर हम देखें तो डेफिनेटली मतलब बड़ा संघर्ष और स्ट्रगल है लाइफ में। और जिस तरीके से इंडिया की अगर हम बात करें, जनसंख्या बढ़ रही है, एजुकेटेड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ रहा है, और अगर आज हम उसको ऑन पैसिव के साथ रिलेट करके देखते हैं सर, तो डेफिनेटली इट्स ए रिवॉल्यूशन। किस तरह से ऑन पैसिव एक आम आदमी को एक स्टूडेंट की लाइफ में जो सबसे बड़ा बदलाव ये करने जा रहा है कि ओ अकेडमी एक क्या बोलते हैं कि क्रिएट्स ए यूनिक स्ट्रक्चर दैट इज यू कैन अर्न व्हाइल यू लर्न। इट्स ए रिवॉल्यूशन, डेफिनेटली इट्स ए रिवॉल्यूशन। क्योंकि आज हम पढ़ रहे हैं नंबर लेने के लिए, अच्छी नौकरी मिलेगी या नहीं मिलेगी, अनसर्टेनिटी रहती है एक स्टूडेंट के माइंड में। लेकिन जब एक ये एहसास हो जाए कि मैं आज ऑन पैसिव के जरिए वर्ल्ड की किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी बेस्ट लेक्चरर्स के साथ कनेक्ट कर सकता हूं, देन अर्निंग भी आएगी। तो मेरा फोकस एक बीइंग ए स्टूडेंट, अगर मैं अपने आप को यहाँ पर देखूं तो मैं रियल लर्निंग पर फोकस कर पाऊंगा, क्योंकि मैं सेटिस्फाई हो जाऊंगा। मैं ये सर्टेनिटी मेरे अंदर आएगी कि मैं जब ये कोर्स करके निकलूंगा तो मेरी इनकम डेफिनेटली होगी। तो एक रियल लर्निंग को हम यहाँ पर ऑन पैसिव की वजह से भविष्य में देख पाएंगे। ओवर टू यू सर।
डेफिनेटली हरीश जी, बराबर बोला आपने कि एजुकेशन एक यानी पहले हमारा एजुकेशन होता था ओके मार्क्स अच्छे लाओ अच्छे जॉब के लिए, लेकिन अभी यानी इट इज बिकम ए ऑनलाइन, लाइक इट्स ए ongoing education. Even in your job you required education, training to move ahead, to get a promotion, to move ahead, better prospects. Or on passive is not only offering that, it is also offering an opportunity that while you learn, you can also earn, and that is what I'm sure all the people who have gathered here, great panelists, must be loving about on passive. So thank you, Harish ji, for your inputs. So we'll call our next participant. Before that, I just wanted to welcome Mr. Jaswant, our global leader. Welcome, sir. Okay. Then is Mamta available right now, or is okay? So Mamta, stage is all yours, and if your son is also available, if since he is also into education, would love to hear his inputs also, if he is available.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Neeraj ji, to invite me and giving this global platform and a chance to express regarding education field. Myself, Mamta Kulkarni, residing at Pune, and I have joined On Passive in 2020, and my life is transformed. I do not have any words, and n number of times I have told in our webinars that how entire transformation has happened with me. Today I am over here to talk about education field. I myself working as a teacher since 28 years. I have taught in the colleges, and I am teaching now since many years in a school, in the high school section. So higher secondary section gets the students from primary section. Pre-primary means the students they come in the flow. So I have seen the children growing up. I have treated means I have seen the children like my own children, and I told them every time that I am a mother figure for you, because I'm observing you when you are growing up. So a minute fraction of the things are changed in their behavior or body language. It is immediately grasped by me, and I have taken the note of it always. So now I am over here describing about the education field. I have too much to explain as per my experience. I have taught in physical setup, means in the schools, colleges, and I have taught in online. Long back in 2011-12, I have started teaching online through Skype, and gradually I was teaching, and then now this in 2020 we have faced entire bad patch of everyone's life. That was a threat to the life, pandemic. So Corona has changed our life, and we all have shifted to the Zoom classes. So earlier I was teaching through Skype or whatever media. One-to-one session I used to conduct it, but the scenario got changed when we were facing in the pandemic situation. So physical setup till the online classes, I have a wide range of experience. So initially I would like to tell you, any education field, any institution, may it be right from KG till PG, any institution has the two facets, two types in education field, that is the teaching and non-teaching. Any establishment can't run only with the teaching faculties or only with the non-teaching faculties. So teaching and non-teaching faculties go hand in hand, and they establish the entire school or colleges, whatever institution they have. My point of view is, how many ways of earnings do the teaching skills, teaching people they have and non-teaching people have. Now the non-teaching those who are teachers or professors, they have wide range of earning platforms for teaching, because if they are teaching to the schools or colleges, they even can start their own coaching class, or they can go on a period basis somewhere else, and they can earn the parallel income, or through Skype or some, now from Zoom they also can teach online. So they have something. What about non-teaching faculties? Non-teaching faculties are dealing with the files and the management, but apart from that, if they go home, they do not have that much skill to give it to somebody else and earn like the parallel income. So they have only the option, either set up the physical business, part-time business, or go to the network. These are two things that the non-teaching staff will think to better for their upliftment. Now the teaching skills, those who are having, they of course have various ways of earning. As I said, now I'll come back to the our platform, On Passive. On Passive is going to give you a wide main gate of your success. Till date, you were there asking for salary, asking for your increments. Many good and bad stuff are seen by me in so many years. Good policies are run, even the bad policies are run. Let us accept it's a life. So be a very visionary like our CEO. Let us talk about both the things, then you will come to know how On Passive is going to give you the revolution in your life. I am not talking about the revolution of the system, I am not talking about the revolution of the world, I am not talking about the revolution in earning platforms, I am talking about the personal life changing life opportunity. Now, if you are working there somewhere else, you need to follow the good books and the bad books, and unfortunately it's not like me that we are being blessed with the good heads and they really appreciate our skills and knowledge. Somewhere else I have even seen them struggling for even for a single word of reward. So now what are the things that why do they should do this, when On Passive is going to give you a good platform of teaching through Academy. Academy is the best part which On Passive is introducing you, because you can design your course, you can design for whatever subject you are. It may be academic, it may be co-curricular, co-scholastic, anything else. As Amrita ji is teaching the drawing and the craft and something else. I am teaching Indian classical music. My friends are teaching the languages. They are teaching maths and sciences. Every management courses, pharmacy courses, any courses are open on Academy. You can design your course and you can establish yourself as the global teacher. It's a hopping to a teacher which is responsible for one institution to responsible teacher at the global level. And I would definitely recommend that anyone should opt for the global platform, because now the times are changing. See, we are always talking about the revolution. The Kodak camera is replaced by mobile phone camera and etc. etc. Landline is replaced by the smart mobiles. Earlier, it was only one landline used to be at home. Now, everyone is having their own cell phones. Isn't it a revolution? Now, what about education system? We are talking about education system. You need to go there. Long stuff lines for pre-primary section. The parents are here in Pune. For some schools, the parents are entire night they are at the gates of the schools to get the admissions in that good school. The good schools are established with the good teachers, then the academy are going to provide you the good teachers. You do not have to go anywhere else. The platform itself will give you many options to select the teachers. So here, when I am talking about the teachers' points of view and the parents and the students' point of view, there are again two factors. The teachers are not going to face the ugly stuff of the society and the management, and the students, they do not have to wait for the good teacher to experience. They can select their own teacher and they can move up. So there is a wide range in academy. The teachers are chosen by the students, and the main thing is, the best thing I have in my first sharing I have given till date, the parents used to say, my dear, go earn and then learn. Earn something. Now it is beyond our capacity. Some parents, they really cannot afford it. But now in on passive through academy, the students are going to use the platform, they are going to use the tools, so they are the customers, and the customers are king. So their wallets would be floating with the money. So the child do not have to ask the money for the parents. Once only if they are taking the subscription, they can use the platform through Connect and choose their own teachers. There is no tension of payment because the wallet itself will give them the money to pay for their teachers. So the students are having the good teachers, even they are going to earn something else in few years. Now, for example, any engineering students, they are paying, for my son paid lakhs for me, even for medical. But when they go for any placements, the placement starts from few thousands. In academy, when they are connecting through OConnect, of course they are using academy platform, they are using OConnect platform, they are the users, they are the kings. They do not have to take any tension for the placement and so-called pay structure which the companies are going to offer them. They are the kings. If they want to do, they will do something else on their own. So right now I have kept some facets for the teachers, some facets for the students, that if of course they can pay for the teachers, they are not supposed to wait for the placements and the good salary. Fees are in lakhs and they are being paid in the thousands. So I feel it's really somewhere the system is wrong. For the institutions also, for the teachers also, they are not being paid, or even some amount of payment is done, or they are appointed only for 11 months. What the person will do when they are working here for entire day? They are full-timers for you. But after 11 months, you are throwing them off. Isn't it a bad system? We are here to change the system. There are so many factors in the society. Let us accept that ugly stuff. As I said, with due respect with all, Shikshan Maharshis, everyone knows. We read so many things about them. Shikshan Maharshis, for them, we call them at Shikshan Maharshis, we are giving them respect. But are they treating this profession as a noble profession? It's just mere a business for them. I'm daring to say this because I have seen this ugly stuff of these institutions. It's a big business for them, and if you are approaching to somewhere else, the people say, why this business? It must be a network marketing, though it is not. But they are running their businesses by accepting few peanuts. That is the ugly stuff. Again, a system is wrong. Now I am talking about whatever Shikshan Maharshis. It's the hypothetical thought. I will not say it will be done, but it may be done. There are some chances, at least in our country. there are the things which a person, he or she working for full time in any institution, education institution, they are been appointed with some amount. Maybe it's a one single amount, or it may be on the pay structure. So if they are hired with that, some institutions do it. They are being paid and next day they are asked some another check for the payment of back salary, return salary, and it is taken by management. These practices are run at most of the institutions. Why? Now in changing scenario, my dear teachers, those who are listening, those who are not the founders, you have opportunity. This opportunity is going to come to your life many a times. Right now as a founders, next time it will be maybe resellers or the customers. But you are sitting in front of the person. Just think, change it. Let somebody else sit in front of you. They are giving you the money. Now this time you be strong and see to it that we don't need it. We have already chosen our platform. These times are going to be we are going to witness these things. Why? Because I am telling you, it may happen again, a very bad thing I am telling. It is a hypothetical thought, but the Shikshan Maharshis, what they will do, as we say that entire company will take so many IDs for their employees. For example, if I'm running one school and I'm going to take all the IDs for my employees, what will happen? Maybe teaching and non-teaching and Maushis and Kaka, every ID I'm going to take. They are going to use the tools. They are using the tools for the Maushis and Kaka. For the communication, it will be taken for non-teaching staff. They are having the HR and tools, we know, or desk and everything. So everyone would be using the tools. And the company is going to pay them as the pay structure. But is that ID is going to belong to the people, those who are using the platform? ID and password may be with the Shikshan Maharshis and they are going to take the entire benefit. That is a possibility. I am not saying that. But before this era comes, you be strong, take the decision and keep the control of your own ID. Don't give the control of your ID to somebody else and do not get profited, give them the profit and again work on the peanuts. It's ugly stuff, we have to accept it. One more thing, as I mentioned it, that technology, current scenario is always replaced by the technology. Now what is technology? As I was talking about the landline and the Kodak camera and so many things, we always talk about it, no doubt. Now I will be going with some government policies. Good policy that everyone should crack the entrance exam and then should be appointed. TET, Teachers Eligibility Test, which we have, I've just now read it. I would only 1 minute I will mention about it. Teachers Eligibility Test. Many of the people they have given, those who are aspirant of to be a part of the teaching profession, so they gave that TET. Many of them they had cracked it and government orders they have received to go and join for so and so institution. So good thing. It was a system, good system set up by the government. But in many institutions there were so many teachers, those who were working on a daily basis or a part-time basis or a temporary basis. Maybe they are working full-time but they were temporary people. They were told that you are appointed for 11 months, but they were thinking that I am teaching for so many years, so the institute will think sympathetically about me and I can claim about that position. But it did not happen. It did not happen. The people, those who have cracked it, they had appointed to those institutions, and the people, those who were thinking that it would be the great part and someday they would be rewarded, they are told to leave the institution. Again, it is proved, if you are not coming with the current scenario, new techniques, new things, you are thrown outside of the system. On Passive is a platform It is offered to you to change your life, to change not only one. And I'm not talking about a teacher. If a teacher is working as a global teacher, her ID can be transferred later on to her family members. So you are setting a system where not only you are going to work for you and for your family for current days, it is forever for your generations too. So this wide spectrum we have, only the things that we need to accept it. There are so many things in the system, they are very good, they are very bad for somebody else. If we are not following the system, we are really thrown out of the system. We need to come in on passive to follow the system. Because everyone is going to earn. Just think, if the people are working for 20-25 years, but still no pension, no gratuity, nothing, no promises by the institution. Isn't it a bad system? We are here to correct the corruption. Everyone would be paid on academy separately, whatever your charges would be given. If any person, if I think after 2 years that I am not going to teach now, many years I have taught. Now I just want to relax and I just want to see the world. Is it possible? Yes. A separate pay structure is over there. I just can enjoy my life. Revolution doesn't come to you. You need to accept the revolution. If you want the paradigm shift in your life, then you need to go with a new system. See now, till date we have adopted the current system. Are we happy? It means that something needs to be changed. Then change the system. Take the decision. Come in on passive. For at least today's topic is education. You can work as a global teacher. You can earn from academy platform. You can earn from OConnect. Those who are coming in your pay structure, from that your team also you are going to earn. Plus, if you are not able to do that, company is going to do for it. Is everything is done just for you. N number of times our CEO has told us it is just done for you. So many intricate things are going on behind, and we are offered a very simple business. Just you come in, you are in it to win it. The last point I would take, it is not at all related with the education system or education department. It is related, which is linked to education. If any institution is taken, any bank, of course that bank is going to take everyone's salary in their bank. All teachers, teaching and non-teaching, everyone's, kakas, maushis, teaching, non-teaching, all the professors, all the pharmacy, medical, dental or engineering, polytechnic, whatever stuff if they have, they will be taking the salaries to their bank accounts. On that basis, they will ask you to take some share certificates. If the share certificate is of 10,000 rupees, they are locked for n number of years. And we are talking about here, one ID cost only 9,000 rupees. What that shares are going to give you after so many years? Nothing. And if you are giving this 9,000 and securing your foundership, what revolution would be there in your life and for your kids and for your entire family members? I know this bank example is not actually related to education, but it is linked with that, and many more things are related like that. I am over here to talk about the things which are related to this system. I myself am going to teach on academy. I am going to design one course for Indian classical music, and I am going to take the students from entire world, irrespective of the languages, and I am going to enjoy my teaching truly right from my home. I do not have to worry for my money. I am going to teach. Right now I am teaching wholeheartedly, but somewhere I was very much worried for my extra expenses. I do not have to worry for my increments. I don't have to show my good things which are already proven n number of times. I have proven them, but still for increment we need to be consistent for that. Academy platform, every month, every year, every month, every day, every week you may have your increment if you have that stuff. You need to understand on passive platform. We are talking about one system right now. Whole ecosystem is going to change our lives. So it was very great to share this experience with you all. I am very thankful to Neeraj to consider myself as an educator and given me this platform. Definitely, I am very happy with it. This I am going to talk to my son. He doesn't know that he will be called over here. By that time, some sharings would be there. He will be there. Thank you, Neeraj, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mamta ji. Yes, thank you very much for your sharing, and I'm sure everybody who has watched your sharing today understand. Maybe even if a person does not understand English, I think they would have understood the challenges that teachers go through, and not only challenges, you got a different aspect to it. It was not just the students, it was the parents also go through. So thank you very much. And one thing, interesting thing that you said was you need to accept the revolution. And yes, the revolution revolution has already started. The future of education is being changed. The only decision you have to take is whether you want to be a part of it or not. So thank you, Mamta ji, once again. And definitely, if your son is available, since he is into the teacher profession, maybe in a medical profession, that's fine. But if we find time, we'll definitely love to have a word with him. So thank you once again. So now we have Darren Cook from US. All stage is all yours.
Wow, I just got an incredible education with the first three presenters. Thanks so much, Niraj and Team Champion for giving me this opportunity and to try to give you a perspective of a guy who grew up in a community of about 300 people. We actually have more wildlife than we do human life where I live. So I can understand how technology for our area and for areas around the world, it's just going to be a way to level that playing field for all. We're not going to reach everybody, but we certainly can reach many more, I think, with the platforms that OnPassive has provided with Academy, OStaff, and as we heard, the total internet solution. So I live in a little community in upstate New York. Now, when people hear New York in the United States, they think of New York City. Well, you need to travel 5 to 6 hours north toward Canada and go into the Adirondack State Park. And we're just little teeny communities throughout this 6 million acre forest. And the education system is really quite robust in many ways, but it's also, hindered because of tax dollars. The larger communities get the larger money, and you can only take so much from an individual household to provide for public education. And because we live in a very suppressed area, the opportunities for occupations are very limited. So many people leave the area. So you have this incredible ability to teach the next generation, but they leave. So I very much understand why that happens, because people need money to survive, but what does it do for the people who remain? And this has been a challenge for me ever since I started growing up and being part of the world. Well, I got into education. I was telling Niraj, when I was 14 years old, I got into alpine skiing and I got into the education field there. And I'm still doing that on a part-time level here and there. And so I started calculating up all the years. I've actually been in the education field for 53 years, over 5 decades. Now, I went from that into the military, and the last 2 years I was in the military, I was the education liaison between the enlisted and the officers. So I started to realize that education is a very broad field. And I started to look at systems. How do I provide systems for people to learn? It's not necessarily that I have to be a brilliant person. I just have to be able to know where the resources are, find a system that works, and then give it to my students. And hopefully they'll be much more productive and successful than me. I think every teacher here will say, that's my goal. I want you to have more than what I had, and I'm going to share everything that I've done to provide you those resources to get there. So after the military, that was in 1974 to 1979, I came back home and I got into the the public education world. But you know what? As we heard from our last presenter, it takes a lot of certification in the United States and probably throughout the world to become a teacher. So you get lots of education and you end up earning about that much compared to the rest of the professional world. And it's understandable because tax dollars are what pays the public sector. All right. Now I did very well. I was very blessed, and hey, I retired at 56 years old. You know, I'm 66 now. So I've been kind of in a wonderful world for 10 years. But let me go back to where my education field started in high school. So I taught 8 years high school English. And in the summers, I got involved in the performing arts. Well, I ended up performing and directing. So there's another field of education that I got thrusted into. So now, again, that's another system that you want. And there's lots of performing arts, whether you're a professional singer or on stage or movie or whatever. So I started to utilize those systems with my students, and I got into film study. And so I started developing curriculums for my students to learn how to create businesses, how to create advertising via film, via newspapers, print. And it was amazing. Our little school district sent me to a school to learn how to use PageMaker when PageMaker first came out. So my little school then started to, whoa, you talk about a technology jump. So I was put into that position, another system. So I now retired 24 years later, but my last 14 years was in elementary. So I got to see the high school level and the elementary. Then so when I was in elementary, I was very, very blessed to be able to work with a teacher over in England, and we started doing teacher swaps with our curriculums, getting our students involved in writing and doing many different things, but it was email. All right. And I'm bringing you through this transition of time to show you where we're at with OnPassive, Academy, Connect. So now I get involved with that teacher, and now we start doing distance learning with the VHS. So another step in technology. And I learned, I begged the school district to help me fund a way that I could take video, VHS, and do cutting and all of that. Well, I ended up writing grants. So now I got into grant writing. So that was another system that I was learning. Well, that leads me up to when I retired. Now I got to go fishing and golfing, right? Well, that lasted about 2 years, and now I'm bored. I'm a teacher. So I started realizing I got a great retirement, but you know what? Inflation continues to go up and my retirement stays here. So I said to myself, what am I going to do to make this economic system in the Cook family outrun the inflation level? Well, thankfully, if I can go back to 1976, I got involved in multi-level marketing. And I have tried and tried. Now I've made some good money here and there, but never the success level that I wanted to, because it's a lot of hard work. Would you agree? Multi-level marketing is difficult because you have to market. Well, that's another system that I learned. And then my final teaching was I became a wealth mentor through an incredible teacher. His name is Dr. Thomas McPhee. He was a chiropractor. He got involved in understanding life insurance. In the United States, in my opinion, life insurance is probably the one vehicle that you will never lose a dollar of what you've earned. And so I started learning that system and how to use life insurance, and then other wealth systems like wills and trusts and foundations. So I went from being a little guy, 14 years old, and teaching all the way up. Now I became a wealth mentor, and I bring you through that whole evolution to let you know that if I had on passive with Ocademy and OConnect and all of these tools, can you imagine where that little guy in that little town where there's more bear than there are people, where I could be today? Well, there's an old saying that if you're in the forestry industry, the logging industry, when's the best time to plant a tree? 40 years ago. When's the next best time? It's today. So I just want to let you know that if you're listening and you're on the fence and you're an educator, I'm not going to repeat everything that was said because it's all there. You've heard the platform. You're going to hear more about that. But I would encourage you to start talking to other teachers and educators and parents. One way that we've done that in the Bahamas, where my daughter lives, it's very similar in culture where I grew up because of the suppression of government funding. Their public schools are very suppressed because there's not a lot of money. The private schools are very good, but it's very expensive for most people to utilize those institutions. So here's what we've done, something you might want to consider in your district. We started taking founding members, founders in OnPassive, and finding key teachers, introducing them to OnPassive, and then sponsoring them if they didn't have the resources. And then we asked that teacher, is there a way for outside monies to come into your institution's, what do I want to say, monetary sources? Because sometimes government, they won't let you do that. Well, in the Bahamas, yes, many outside resources can give money, they can give tools and services to public education. And I said, whoa, there it is. So we started sponsoring key teachers. Then we found sponsors to sponsor their school if the teacher couldn't. And now we're reaching out and sponsoring teachers underneath the school. Can you see what that can do? We have one school right now that has 58 founding positions underneath that school district in the Bahamas. Can you imagine the economic change that school will have in a year? It's going to be massive. So I encourage you, if you learn nothing else from this little guy here, that's, you know, I love education. I'm not a brilliant guy, but I know systems. So if you can take anything from this presentation of mine, find key teachers if that's your niche, if that's what you want to do in your life. If you're a parent and if you want your school district to have more resources, I would encourage you to really look at OnPassive. You've got tremendous leaders here in India. Niraj and I finally connected and got to know each other a little bit, but please do not take this lightly. We heard from dear Ilata. She told you that technology is not going to stop for you and for your district and for your children. So embrace it with everything you have and just take a leap of faith sometimes. Michael Williams said that we all get in this for the hope of making more money. Yeah, and that was mine. I want to just replace my income that I get with my retirement. And it's not a big deal what I get. So if I make that little bit, I can at least say, wow, now the government, I don't have to worry about them telling me that next month I might get a decrease in my retirement, because they can overnight. Okay, so that's me. Thanks so much. And I'll pass it back to you, Niraj.
Thank you very much, Daryl. I just wanted to ask you, you talked about you concentrated more on the systems. So can you tell me more about on passive, maybe on passive as a system? What do you find interesting about on passive as a system? So relating to education or maybe overall.
There's two huge areas where the on-passive system is going to help the teacher and the student. Okay, and you just think about professional development. Every teacher in the United States has to have professional development. Okay, as more and more universities come on board and they see what the Academy platform is going to provide for video education platform, et cetera, that's going to allow the teacher a couple things. Number one, it'll provide them with an incredible diversity of in-house teaching strategies from other countries. I don't know it all, and I can tell you just from what I've heard already, I know that you folks have many experiences that, boy, I wish I had in my teaching world, because I believe in cross-cultural education, because we need that. Our students today need that, because we work in a world. We don't work in a small little sector anymore. So teacher development is going to be huge for our system. Why? It's because of the ease of using the platform. You go to Academy, you can pull down your resources that you need, and then you can implement it in your school. So that brings in staff. Everything that a teacher needs. A teacher is a manager. Think of it like that. Every manager of every company needs to have the ease and the ability to take their information, take it up to the higher levels, and to go peer-to-peer. What other platform will you need other than staff to make that happen? Every teacher needs to pass on all the reporting to the next teacher and to the next institution. So what better way than to have staff to record all of that? And it's just a matter of ease to ease. You can go peer-to-peer, you can go teacher to parent, you can go department to department, you can go to the superintendency, right down to the student if you wanted to. It all depends. What a great and easy system for teachers. I can just see this opening up so many doors. And then the final thing is for cross-cultural teaching. That has been a game that I've always wanted to do. I was going to go to New Zealand. I was in a teacher swap back in 1996, and it almost happened, but something happened in my life, which was a game changer, so I had to stop it. We can do what we call teacher swapping. We can do that now with the ease with OnPassive, because we'll have a digital wallet, so the district can pay the teacher wallet to wallet. Very, very simple. We can have now students from the US being taught by teachers in India, and it doesn't matter about the time frame, because everything could be recorded. So we could take Amrita. Is that Amrita? Is that how you pronounce that? So she could be teaching in India during your time, having it recorded, and then when the students in the US that she's teaching are ready to come in, she's finished her class, she just gives an introduction and she says, okay, you go to your platform, sign in, and then go to OConnect, and you're going to find everything that you need right on your dashboard. And here's the lessons for today, and here's my recording to help you. And if you need any other help, just call up your email, your peer-to-peer email with me, and ask me your questions, and I'll make sure that you get the answers. Boom, there you go. So now you got international teaching going on as a daily entity. So that's how I see the system working in the future. I hope that helped.
Thank you very much. And actually, one of the points one of the teachers brought about was he or she can teach in her native language, and it can be converted into the language of the person who is actually taking the education. I think that point is also used there. Right.
Yeah, and I love the fact that it even has the ability to let you know if your student's falling asleep. I've always thought that they ought to have a little buzzer in their seat, so when it detects that they're falling asleep, bing! Oh, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, distraction something, right? Distraction tracking. Yeah,
right.
I'm so very eager to
identification. Distraction identification.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm not a technical guy. I just know something's in there that's going to do that. So, thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you, Daryl, a lot for your time. Okay. So we'll move on to our next educator. So Mr. Jos Cherian, sorry if I'm not pronouncing your first name properly. Could you also let us know how to pronounce your name? So Mr. Cherian. Yes, if you have,
I think,
were you able to figure out your
my audio is okay?
Yes, we are able to get your audio, but
just,
what about the camera, sir?
The video, I don't know, I'm not able to open the video unless you can do it from there.
Right. First of all, just wanted to ask you, sir, are you logged on to this particular session using multiple devices, because we are hearing echo sound?
I'll switch off one.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, because your
just
sound.
1 second.
Sure.
Let me see. Okay.
I think he logged off.
Yeah, he is out now. I am looking for him. Meanwhile you can proceed further, Neeraj.
Yes. So let's call upon the stage Mr. Sudarshan Kumar NK. Stage is all yours. Go ahead.
Hello, sir. Sir, am I audible to you?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Thank you for, at the very outset, thank you very much for extending an opportunity to share my views on the education, especially when our on-passive is coming out on a revolutionary mode. Now, my name is Sudarshan Kumar NK. I hail from Karnataka state, from a place called Kushal Nagar. At present, I reside over there. And I work as a lecturer in the university, as well as I am a research scholar doing my PhD study in the University of Mangalore on the topic European Union as a political actor, the study of EU's role in conflict resolution. So I'm in a final stage of my research submission, and things are moving on the same direction, and I'm working as a lecturer also. So I enjoy my profession very thoroughly because it gave me a lot of pleasure in exchanging the thoughts, ideas, and exchanging it to the young generation, so that I turn out to be a student at each level. There is an exchange of opinion, and there is the exchange of perspectives, which has propelled me to take education more seriously. Taking these into account, I just want to extend my reflections on passive very specifically, because at the very outset, I need to thank my mentor, or the person who has extended an opportunity, a global opportunity, and a life-changing opportunity called as OnPassive, who is Mr. Luis de Silva. And he has, I consider him as a mentor because he has given me a right platform at the right time. Coming to the point when I joined on 22nd July 2021. However, I'm really fortunate to be associated under OnPassive because I have been getting influenced by the ideas of OnPassive on different platforms. So whenever there was discussions by Dylan sir or Neeraj sir, or in many platforms, even from my own Karnataka team, I had some good mentors who used to educate me on passive. So I consider getting educated to the new domain itself is a teaching or a learning experience. So there, I have learned a lot on passive. That's where I can stand and where I can start on. Now, coming to the point of what made me to take OnPassive very seriously is a primary question. What I always keep asking myself, because the moment I keep asking this question, what made me to stand in OnPassive, and what makes me to stand even in the upcoming days, there are certain factors which I feel very importantly. One is the value factor, where our as sir has been emphasizing on it, that there is a value, and the value has to be appraised beyond the other factors, be it the money, but there is a value for that money. So that value factor which has come from OnPassive, or which has been emphasized in OnPassive, is a major driving force for me to stick to OnPassive and to see that there is a future in this. And to complement that, I saw that the entire business model, which has been designed in a holistic way, has a ethical edge. So ethics becomes a cornerstone for OnPassive to conduct its business. So I haven't come across any kind of a business very prominently to say I'm not a person who was more inclined towards business field. However, when I came across this opportunity, I found that these two factors were very impelling me to take this opportunity, to grab this opportunity from both hands. However, there were certain kind of steps what made me to really believe that yes, however, the words of value or the words of ethics has to be concretely seen. So I saw two important apps or the products of OnPassive as very promising to complement the above two stated points, that is O Academy and O Bless, which has really driven me aside to say that there is a potentiality in this concept. It is not just about glorifying any kind of promising statements, rather than there is a stuff. Because I strongly, being a student in academic world, I strongly feel that O Academy ensures the larger quality of education to the larger segment of the society. And the education has the potentiality, and I strongly believe that that the education is the only right mean or the mode to enrich and to transform the larger segment of the society. Now, in that sense, I never came across a concept called as O-bless, where a business can be carried out, and meanwhile the ethical notion and the value factor can be clubbed together for the betterment of the society. Now, that is I feel these two are the more dearest pillars of OnPassive for me, and that made me to carry out into OnPassive. However, if I am comfortable to speak on today's topic, then there was a title called as OnPassive disruptive education, or is it going to disrupt the education? My comfortable and confident answer is yes. It is going to disrupt the entire education system. Now, question is why and how. Now, on that note, if we examine, O Academy has furnished a platform to the education through e-learning. Now, when it comes to the question of e-learning, what are the scope of how the scope of e-learning gets unfolded? Now, if you see, very interestingly, global online industry has grew 900%. It is not 1% or 100%. It has grew 900%. Now, this factor has to be taken into account. Adding to that, by 2025, it is expected that nearly $325 billion market gets opened. Now, in that note, when OnPassive enters into this kind of domain, the entire picture or the entire paradigm shifts to the other side of the image. Now, from that point, if you examine from 2020 till 2025, if you see, nearly 200% rise has seen in the online education mode. Now, this gives a clear-cut hint for us to say that there is a huge market, or there is a huge potentiality for us to explore. Now, given all these factors into account, the core part of e-education or e-learning, where we can relate to O Academy through our OnPassive, is that micro education is getting significance, or the popularity of micro education is getting increased. That means one-to-one dialogue or one-to-one conversation, or more closed communication, exchange of views, exchange of knowledge is carried out very, very significantly under e-education platform. And very significantly, education, the mode or the purpose of education, which was confined to get education, has defined and has been transformed in different layers. Even the companies in these days, that is to say, almost 80% of the companies have welcomed or grabbed e-education to train their own colleagues and the fellow staffs. So that has increased the potentiality of e-education very prominently, because most of the companies have welcomed it, and very prominently European and American companies have almost gone to the sir.
Just a moment. Kaushik, did he get logged out?
I can see him live.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. I think you stopped. I think there was some disturbance, so you can. Sorry for
so
that.
I stopped, sir. Yeah. Can
Go
I
ahead.
proceed, sir?
Go ahead.
Yes. The core merit, what has to be taken from e-learning, or where the core part has to be accepted, is that e-learning is less time consuming, and people have more flexibility to adapt to different circumstances. And very, very interestingly, the research has observed that the retention rate has hugely or highly increased in the online platform. Whereas if you go to the regular class mode platform, the retention rate of a student has been from 8% to 10%, whereas when it comes to the online education, it has gone from 25 to 60%. That is a huge change, where a parent also acknowledges these kind of changes, because a student will have the flexibility to go through different kinds of recalling methods or cross-checking the data and sources. So that becomes a handy tool for a student to update himself and to get engaged with the subject on a continuous basis. However, said about the pros or the potentiality of e-learning, I also want to draw the kind attention of all this August House or this platform to reflect on the other side of the spectrum. Now, what is the other side of the spectrum? That almost 60% of the I'm going with the Indian statistics on this note, because till now I spoke about the global scenario, but I wish to speak about the Indian platform or Indian digital platform. Now, if you examine, India is considered to be the highly potential market for e-education because of its young population. This has to be taken into account by all our founder members, because there is a huge market for e-platform in India, and it is a huge contributor. However, said, almost 60% of the students lack access to e-education. This has to be taken into account. Adding to that, rural population as well as women are the second grade beneficiary of e-learning. This has to be taken into account. More or less, if the research has noticed very clearly that women are less beneficiary of using the gadgets when it comes to the gender ratio. Adding to that, national survey, sample survey has pointed that nearly 1.5 billion schools or a schooling education system operate in the country, and out of that 250 million population are pursuing their studies. However, these factors also brings us to a core point that almost 4% of the rural population and nearly 23% of urban household are having access to computers. Very, very important point that we need to acknowledge. However, out of all these statistics, the core point what also we need to reflect is that almost 14.9% of the rural population and 42% of the urban population have access to internet. That means there are many chunk of the population which is out of the beneficiary domain. Now, I'm not placing a negative statement by giving all these statistics, but rather than I'm trying to emphasize the point that those lacunas are the potential markets for on-passive, where we can really bank on. That means if almost that number of percentage is missing in the education stream, means we have that much of market to explore. There is a huge potentiality we can really emphasize on that we need to look into now. Now, given all these statistics in the account, are we going to speak about on-passive and the O Academy to potentialize on this and to see that this itself is the end result? Now, the answer is no. On-passive has a larger objective. It is not just to provide the numbers and to show that we are performing on these areas, on these levels. Rather than, there is a huge objective behind incorporating O Academy into on-passive. That we need to acknowledge it, and then only the larger objective of bringing the education and to visualize a better future can be ensured. Now, what is that? Now, I would like to say that, however, the statistics shows very, very negative developments. But fortunately, digital education, that means e-education, e-learning, has been a boon or has been a very right platform for the women community, especially those who got married and who were being kept out of the education for a long time, who took the opportunity to get educated or to take their placement in the higher education. Statistics says that almost 17% of those communities, that women community who were denied from the education, got enrolled into e-learning in these days. Now, this is a promising sign. That means education is reaching even to those communities. That is the right sign or the right development for a constructive society. Having said all these things, where does our on-passive or O Academy stands here in this scenario? My association in the academic world, my involvement in the academic community as a lecturer, I engaged, I got exposed to liberal education, where I feel my connection with the O Academy gets more strengthened because of my exposure to the liberal education. Now, what is this liberal education is all about? Now, liberal education tries to it tries to go for multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. I was listening to Darren Cook's sir's presentation, and it was very interesting to know his entire professional graph. He had mixed of experience. Now, that is a rich experience when we take about liberal education. Fortunately, India is waking up its thought to emphasize on liberal education. Liberal education is getting its prominence and its potentiality, and even the need for liberal education is gaining momentum. Now, what this liberal education is all about then? That means prior to this kind of, we were almost most of us in this panel are being brought up or are being educated under a compartmentalization. We are being trained or we are being educated to be as a science student or to be as an art student or to be as a commerce student. So there was a sharp compartmentalization among the subjects, and we were denied to have access to the other disciplines. Now, fortunately, things are changing, and I call O Academy is the right platform than any other platform, because this can only give a better access to make liberal education more vibrant. Now, what liberal education is all about then? Earlier days, it was in the ancient period, the
सर मुझे लग रहा है वो फ्रीज हो गए.
Yeah, I think we will connect again.
Internet issue.
I think, but he's putting up a lot of points, and actually, I feel that the stats, especially, were very interesting. But I don't think like he talked about doing a PhD in a different topic, but I think he has also done a PhD in education, and that's great.
Yes, yes. And actually, we were talking about that. This industry is billions dollars industry. This because the current scenario, we are having so many education platforms right now, those who are into e-learnings. So why then there is a hike in their earnings? So it means that there is a possibility that the students and the parents, they want that platform for their works.
Yeah, Niraj, can I comment on the liberal arts that he was getting into?
Sure, go ahead.
In the ancient times, liberal arts was not what it's considered today. Liberal arts meant that you could learn all the different arts that were in the world to provide that rich educational platform to then venture out. And I've always been very intrigued by the Montessori approach to education, where you take a student's strengths, build the curriculum around it so that student can explore around and outside of their strengths to bring them in. So I think he was right on passive will give, I think of all the statistics that he was talking about, the students that have lack of access, definitely a lot of the adult women. It's around the world. It's not just one culture, whatever. On passive is going to bring that resource through Academy to bring in that liberal education so students can start to pick and choose. I've said that in the United States educational platform. It's so limited because they don't allow students to explore. They say, this is what you'll learn, cookie cutter, everybody's a cookie cutter. Well, let me tell you what, put people on a pair of skis and say you're going to go from the top of the mountain to the bottom. You won't find anybody that's a cookie cutter. Everybody's different. And education should be that way. So he was right on target. I was very excited to hear those statistics because I said, you know what? It's the same in my area. I just wanted to bring that out.
Thank you, Darren. Yes, Kaushik, is he available?
I'm looking for him. Mr. Chetan is back again. Let me. He's not in the room so far.
Mamta, do you have your son's sharing by any chance?
Actually, he is having this his entrance exam, and the live class is going on.
Oh, okay.
And
Maybe next time. Okay.
And I think so. I can put one thought on this, Neeraj, if you allow me.
Sure, go ahead.
Right now, Mr. Darrell, he was mentioning about the one umbrella, that teaching methods. In our country, we were having a Gurukul Paddhati, where in under one umbrella, we were having all the subjects. All the subjects, art, science, commerce, means research, music, arts, drawing, craft, everything. And now Academy or On Passive is going to give us the same thing. We are going there only with the technology, advanced technology with AI. We are going to get each and everything on one platform, and of course we can choose the teachers all over from the globe, and the students we can collect it from the globe. So it's a wonderful opportunity as per me, and for the ladies especially. If I'm considered myself, I'm having a longer span to work due to the global platform. So that would be one added factor for this, I think so. Thank you, Neeraj.
Yes, sir. Can I add one point, if you give me a permission?
Definitely. Go ahead.
मैं सभी को ये बात बताना चाहूंगी कि इंडिया में सबसे पहले रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर जी ने एक ऐसा विश्वविद्यालय बनाया जहां पे एकदम जीरो लेवल से, मतलब एकदम मॉन्टेसरी क्लास से पीएचडी लेवल तक की पढ़ाई, मतलब वन अम्ब्रेला के रूप में पढ़ाई होती है, और वो वेस्ट बंगाल में है। वेस्ट बंगाल में रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर जी का बनाया हुआ बहुत बड़ा यूनिवर्सिटी जिसका नाम है विश्वविद्यालय है, और वहां पे वो शांति निकेतन में है, और वहां पे बहुत ही बड़ा एजुकेशन सिस्टम है। और उनका मानना था कि बच्चों को खुले आकाश में पढ़ाना चाहिए, तो 4th क्लास तक जितने भी एजुकेशन सिस्टम में बच्चे आते हैं उनको ओपन मतलब पेड़ के नीचे बैठाया जाता है, जैसे पुराने जमाने में गुरुकुल में पढ़ाया जाता था। मैं ऑलरेडी वहां विजिट की हूँ और वहां पे पढ़ाया जाता था। 150 साल पहले एक इंसान इतना बड़ा विजनरी हो सकता है, मतलब मैं क्या बताऊं कि 150 साल पहले उन्होंने जो सोचा था आज वो एप्लीकेबल है, और वो इतने बड़े रिसर्चर थे कि उनका योगदान लाइब्रेरी में भी रहा है। और उन्होंने उस समय में उन लोगों के लिए लाइब्रेरी बनाया था जिसका नाम था चलंतिका, और वो चलने वाला एक वैन लाइब्रेरी था उस समय में, जिनके पास एजुकेशन पहुंच नहीं सकता था, जो आ नहीं सकते थे, मतलब बहुत सारा बैरियर था। लड़कियां घर से नहीं निकल सकती थी। जैसे कि सर ने कहा, उनका रिसर्च पैनल जो बहुत बड़ा है, वो रिसर्चर हैं तो उनका एक पूरा डीप रिसर्च नॉलेज है, एज अ रिसर्चर पर्सन, एज अ रिसर्च पर्सन जिनका नॉलेज होता है उनका मतलब बहुत डीप नॉलेज होता है एक सब्जेक्ट में, एज अ लाइब्रेरियन हमारा वाइडर नॉलेज होता है ऑल सब्जेक्ट में, तो वी डोंट कंपेयर दिस थिंग्स बट आई एक्सप्लेन यू। तो सोचिए उस समय भी शिक्षा को बांध के नहीं रखा गया चलंतिका के द्वारा, मतलब उसे उसका मतलब होता है मोबाइल। तो आज हम लोग मोबाइल वर्ड से बहुत यूजफुल है, एक्चुअल में वो सेलुलर फोन होता है, सेल फोन। तो मोबाइल वर्ड का इन्वेंशन समझ लीजिए रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर जी ने किया था, और उन शिक्षाओं को उन्होंने मतलब बुक को मतलब सभी को पढ़ने का हक है, तो ये सभी लोगों तक पहुंचे, उन्होंने ये एक्सप्लेन किया था। तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। और उसी तरह से मैं एक हमारे बहुत बड़े विजनरी लीडर जो हमारे एस मुफरेश सर है, जिनको मैं थैंकफुल बोलती हूँ, तो वो भी आज के जितने स्पीड, मतलब इतना स्पीड में हमारा इंफॉर्मेशन जो है ना ग्रोथ कर रहा है, डेवलप कर रहा है, वहां पे वो 50 साल आगे तक का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू लेके चल रहे हैं। मतलब वो बहुत बड़े विजनरी लीडर है, इतना बड़ा विजन है उनके पास में, नोबडी कैन बीट। मतलब इतना अच्छा ह्यूमैनिटी के सोर्स के साथ मैं जो पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू अपना वहां रखी थी। तो मैं एक बात को और बोलना चाहूंगी सभी को, वी नो अबाउट द बैनियन ट्री। ओके, व्हाट इज एक्चुअल बैनियन ट्री? दिस इज द हमारे इंडिया का नेशनल ट्री भी है बैनियन ट्री, वी हैव अ नेशनल ट्री बैनियन ट्री, इट इज सिचुएटेड इन कोलकाता। सो अगर आप उसको देखेंगे ना तो मैं बिलीव नहीं कर पाएंगे कि ये कैसा होता है। बैनियन ट्री हिंदी मीनिंग इसका होता है कल्प वृक्ष, इट मीन्स विश मांगने वाला ट्री। ठीक है, तो ऑन पैसिव जो है एक ऐसा पेड़ है जो बैनियन ट्री की तरह, और हम जस्ट हम इसके अंदर आ जाए और हम बस अपना आंख बंद कर ले और एक कोई भी विश मांगे ना तो वो पूरा हो जाएगा, चाहे वो किसी भी फील्ड से रिलेटेड हो, चाहे वो कोई भी पर्सन हो। ये मैटर नहीं करता है फ्रॉम वेयर वी आर कमिंग, इट डजंट मैटर फ्रॉम वेयर वी आर गोइंग, इट्स अ मैटर। सो जस्ट ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। अगर हम इसे ज्वाइन करते हैं, ये हमारे पास एक ऐसा की है ना, ओकेडमी हमारे पास हमारे सर ने ऐसा दे दिया है कि ये ऐसा की है, की ऑफ सक्सेस है, इससे हम किसी भी ताले का चाबी को इजीली खोल सकते हैं, एकदम आसानी से खोल सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ ओकेडमी एंड ऑल द प्रोडक्ट्स बहुत ही अच्छे हैं जिनको हम इजिली ग्रैब कर सकते हैं और अपने इंफॉर्मेशन को किसी को भी शेयर कर सकते हैं। एक पिरामिड की तरह अगर हम सोचते हैं, एक पिरामिड की तरह, तो टिप पॉइंट तक पहुंचने के लिए हमें 4 पैनल को पार करना पड़ता है। पहला होता है डेटा, ठीक है, डेटा, और डेटा से डेटा सारे इकट्ठे होकर के बनते हैं इंफॉर्मेशन, इंफॉर्मेशन इकट्ठे होकर के बनते हैं नॉलेज। तो नॉलेज बहुत सारे लोगों तक है, लेकिन जो इंसान, शायद मुझे लगता है, ये मेरा मानना है, जो हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे ओकेडमी के पास लर्निंग करेगा वो सीधा का सीधा विजडम तक पहुंचेगा। विजडम इज द टिप पॉइंट ऑफ द नॉलेज। तो जो वहां तक पहुंच सकता है ये सिर्फ एश सर के द्वारा ही हो सकता है, क्योंकि हमारा ये वंडरफुल सा प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसके द्वारा हम सभी लोग यहाँ तक पहुंच सकते हैं और इजिली यहाँ पे एज अ टीचर, as a professional, as a student, we can elaborate our knowledge and everywhere। क्योंकि ये बात सही है, सर ने बिल्कुल सही बात कहा है, शादियां हो जाने के बाद तो लड़कियों का पढ़ना बिल्कुल भी मुश्किल हो जाता है। और बहुत सारे लोग, सिर्फ नहीं, लड़की ही नहीं, मैं भी ये सारे रिसर्च पैनल पे देखी हूँ कि लड़की ही नहीं, बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं मॉनेटरी प्रॉब्लम की वजह से स्टडी नहीं कर पाते हैं, दे स्टॉप द स्टडी। तो ये जो स्टडी स्टॉप हो जाता है ना, एक्चुअल में स्टडी स्टॉप सबसे ज्यादा होता है हमारी सोच की वजह से। तो सबसे पहले सर ने इतना बड़ा सोच बदल दिया है कि जस्ट आप एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ जाइए, आपका हर एक प्रॉब्लम का शॉर्ट आउट यहाँ पे एकदम डेफिनेटली है, डन डील है। सो वी आर सो इन इट टू विन। थैंक यू नीरज सर।
थैंक यू वेरी मच अमृता जी आपके शेयरिंग के लिए and additional points. I think Sudarshan is back, so welcome back, Sudarshan. So you can actually put forward your points, and it was really interesting stats. I was talking to other people in the panel that you said that you have done a PhD in a other topic, but it seems that you have done a PhD in education also. So yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm really sorry. I really need to ask the apology with all of you, with due respect to your valuable time, that unfortunately, due to technical error, I couldn't continue. There was interruption, sorry. So taking it forward, I just wanted to point that that how the entire world can come together under a single banner or under the single umbrella on education, and how we can accommodate the beauty of a liberal education, to see that and to say that India was known for liberal education from its ancient period. Even the Rigveda had emphasized very prominently that let the knowledge come from any direction, and it was very strongly emphasized even by Mahatma Gandhi, where he believed that the knowledge should not be restricted to any segment or any compartmentalization. Accordingly, India has opened up its larger vision to see that the liberal education gets its significance very prominently because of the new change which was brought into the education policy, that is National Education Policy 2020. I'm sorry, I'm confining it to Indian context. However, this can be explored in different countries or in different platforms. However, this National Education Policy 2020 has emphasized on three important factors. One is knowledge factor, another one is a skill factor, and the third one is the experience factor, and which becomes a key for any student to take himself forward to any platform. He will be confident enough to explore the opportunity, where Mamta ma'am was doubting the potentiality of the student given the constraints, and even Amrita ma'am as well as Harish sir was emphasizing how exactly the education system is losing its core purpose of educating. The core purpose of education has to educate the young minds, as Amrita ma'am very rightly pointed about the need of transforming the education towards wisdom, rather than putting or converting the young minds only to be as a literate. So I strongly believe that our on-passive O Academy is not interested in creating the literate minds, rather than it is more interested to have educated minds. So there is a huge difference between what is to be as a literate and what is to be as an educated. Now, from that point, I call on passive, which can really do well under the National Education Policy, because as Darren sir was speaking about how the entire system, like O Mail, O Connect, O Wallet, and O Academy can be clubbed together. In the same way, I see that the National Education Policy, India's National Education Policy 2020, has given that kind of platform, for the reason that there is a area called as credit banking. Now, like banking system, we have a credit based marking system in the education practices, and a student, he is enjoying his privilege to earn his credit, and that he can take it from any part of the stream. Now, this is liberal education, and fortunately, our O Academy can, and it will, and it definitely for sure will cater the need of such people who want to take their credits from any part of the world. Now, on this note, I want to emphasize on very important part, that why our O Academy is going to create a benchmark to the education world. I'm not talking about the competitors, because as has been repeatedly saying that that on passive is not going to stand as a competitor, because nowhere we are going to compete with any of the present system. Rather than we want to set a benchmark, we want to have a different system altogether, to see that the other follows us. They keep our model as a model for the upcoming days. Now, in that regard, for example, O Academy not only provides a structured formal education, rather than it also gives a platform for a expert, For example, Mamta ma'am was speaking about the classical music, where she is interested and she is potential to deliver those subject or those training. Meanwhile, for example, a person who is a layman, who doesn't have a professional trained certified person. For example, if I take a farmer, now O Academy and other subject other platforms of OnPassive can come together, even for a layman. For example, assume that I am a farmer and I am a bee collector. I mean honey collector. Now I have a better indigenous knowledge of bee and its processes of making honey. Now I may not be the expert to be as a trainer to educate with the certified degree on my shoulder. Rather than I am well versed, or I am far better than, assume that I am far better than any degree holder. Now I can take up a class. Now that class, which I can record it and I can place it in my own language. Assume that I'm completely from an indigenous background. I'm from a tribal background. I don't know any of the modern sophisticated languages. Now I may stick to my own language and I record it and I place it on O Academy. Now, given this condition, O Academy has the potentiality to take it into different languages. The point is, to whom it has to be scattered, to whom it has to be reached. Now, National Education Policy 2020 comes to the picture, and it gives opportunity for a student to take up the course even from those kind of people who may be indigenous and who have the knowledge of indigenous way of accumulating some kind of wisdom of this nature, and that can be presented there. So I seriously say that O Academy is not only for the structured education, rather than it is a platform to explore the unexplored areas. Now, this has to be acknowledged very, very seriously, because the world has seen only a partial or a micro part of the wisdom. What Amrita ma'am says about the wisdom, or calls for a wisdom enrichment. Now, if that has to be ensured, then the O Academy has to explore beyond the periphery of considering the formal education. There are many, for example, where Darren sir was speaking about his experience into insurance field, into logging field. There are many areas where he has touched into. Now, those experience are a minute part, and detailed experience of his life experience becomes crucial for a student. Now, that cannot be found in the textbook. It has to be explored through experience. So skill and experience becomes a key factor for a student to take himself to any market. Now, given that context, where is our education heading? Are we, what Harish Sharma sir was speaking about it, that are we meeting those kind of young minds to place themselves into the job market? Are we producing those kind of machines out of that? Now, the point is, education institutions have busily engaged in training students, in designing students, in forcing students to be successful. And success itself is the life goal of those young minds. Unfortunately, this has spoiled the young generation to a pathetic level, and enough is enough, where O Academy has to stand completely out of this kind of stream, because there are many platforms which tries to educate young minds with coming up with e-learning, with different courses. Almost if you go for Udemy, there are nearly 20,000 online courses. Now, are we giving the number of courses here, or are we having a purpose in giving what those courses has to serve to the humanity? When OnPassive is strongly banking on values, when it is strongly emphasizing on ethics, now the question is, we know that OnPassive is going to win. At any cost, we are going to win. But what is that win leading to? Are we going to mint the business and the numbers in terms of the business capacity? Yes, we will do that. We will have a financial freedom. We will have a transformation in the social status. However, the education what we take from O Academy has to have a longing impact, and that should make the benchmaking. It should set a benchmark for the next generation to see that the education has to be designed as per the O Academy's model, because it believes in ethics, it believes in the value factor. Now, if that is to be taken into account, then the core value is how we make education more holistically. Now, to take it more holistically, it has to take out certain other areas. What I strongly believe that yes, there is a huge market, there is a huge potentiality for many young minds to take up their profession. What Mamta ma'am was speaking about, the scope of people entering into a teaching profession gets exploded under O Academy. However, our commitment to serve the larger community has to be guaranteed here. That means the education has to touch on mind, body, and soul. Do we ensure that? Does our education guarantees that kind of competency, and can we ensure that we can explore beyond success and to aim for excellence? Now, O Academy has to engage on excellence, how to excel the students' potentiality to reach the humanity. Now, in that sense, I strongly point out one important factor where O Academy should explore, or I feel, because I'm not well versed in understanding O Academy at this point of time. However, on the note of taking our O Academy to the another level, where the potentiality is exploding in these days, that is to see that our O Academy has to think on editing tools, plagiarism tools. Plagiarism becomes a very, very significant tool for taking education on a very, very ethical note, because corruption, if ONPASSU is fighting for to have a correction towards a corruption, then there is a point what we need to accept, that education is under a major crisis where there is a huge corruption what is going on, especially in terms of its ethical notion of acknowledging the sources. Now, in that sense, if the young minds has to come out on an ethical note in the education world, then the O Academy has to emphasize even on the plagiarism tool. It also has to have a editing tool, which this collaboration is missing in most of the competitors. If we see most of the competitors, who are entering into the learning platform, they do not bring, or they do not try to club this plagiarism tool or editing tool or grammar checking tool. And even there is a very, very serious thought to be reflected on digital library, because that is the huge potentiality where the O Academy can take its entire knowledge domain to the another level. A digital library becomes very, very crucial for O Academy, and above all, we also need to have a publication platform which can strongly feel and say that there is a universal or a global platform for any young minds to present his publication. I want to point it very clearly here, one thing, that when it comes to the question of publication, let us not confine that the parameter of modern education publication only has to be taken into account, because there are many people, as I said, who have huge knowledge about many aspects of this world, of this nature, of this society, where a professional subject person may not have. So his expertise, his knowledge also needs to get published, or also needs to be acknowledged in the digital world. So I hope digital world can accommodate, or ONPASSU O Academy can welcome all these spectrums into account, and it will serve the younger generation and the future in a better way. I stop this my thoughts on education or on this platform by saying that it has always helped me in recalling the need or the significance of education by saying that if an engineer fails, then a building will collapse. If a doctor fails, a patient may collapse. But if a teacher fails, a generation or a society will collapse. So there is a huge responsibility to transform the society, and I strongly feel that O Academy gives the best platform because education can be the best tool to transform the society to another level. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and thank you for listening for your valuable time. And I'm really sorry for all the inconvenience. Thank you, Neeraj sir, for giving me this kind of opportunity. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you, Sudarshan. It was really interesting. As I was telling the panel that it seems that you have done a PhD in education. When I was asked how much time to be allocated, I had told everyone 10, maybe 5-10 minutes. But you can, if you want to talk about a certain topic, you can go ahead with that. But since you were in a flow and you were talking about, I felt that you were talking about education and how, and you were relating all other panelist comments also. So I just thought that I would let the flow go. So maybe in the future sessions, we might just have one of your individual session where we can give you more time. So if we have the last, go ahead. You were saying something.
Sir, I'm really sorry for breaking the time framework. I'm really sorry for that.
No problem. When there are passionate people talking about a particular topic, I can really understand. So let's try to see if we have one of the participants. I think Mr. Cherian is not there, right, Kaushik?
Yeah, he's again gone out.
Okay, so I think those were the panelists for today. I think it was a very interesting session. I know we extended a lot, but sometimes if the topic is good, I think it does not matter. The time does not matter. At least On Passive has taught me that. So now it is open to all other leaders who want to share their thoughts about today's topic. So whoever is available. Starting from maybe KD Shukla, Gusminder ji, Yogini ji, Mukund ji, Kaushik ji, anybody can go forward.
Yes, Neeraj, thank you very much for bringing up this webinar for educators. And I welcome Darrell to this webinar. Hello and good morning to you as well. And good evening to my Indian friends. We have still, I think, AM. Good morning here, this part of world. But definitely, this is what we needed actually in our education. And with Academy coming into this field, I think we are going to revolutionize education field in such a way, because there are so many of possibilities coming up with the Academy, which Mr. Ash has thought of all these possibility. Because what I actually see is that there were some broken parts in education, because the traditional form of education which was going on in around the world. So Academy is going to revolutionize that thing, and just will tie up that the broken part of this education system. When I see, because I have seen both the system, our Indian system and our this system, this part of the world, America, Canada, and this type of system. What I have seen that no doubt Indian education system is one of the best. I can declare that system is one of the best system which I have seen, because when I compare now with my kids, they are going to school, they are studying here itself. So the part which I see that India leads in education is that's why we can say that even if we can talk about technology, we can say, okay, 30% of Indians, they are in Silicon Valley and this thing. And why? We just have to think why. And why they are here after that, studying over there, and why they are here. Okay, so when I talk about certain broken parts of this education system, so every country has their good things in their system. But if we talk about India, like we have ancient universities, if I'm not wrong, we have the words like oldest universities in India, that Nalanda University and one or two more university, where this part of world, this Indian subcontinent, they gave so much preference to education, not from now, but from ancient time. Though there were a lot of variables onto that, but education is taken in such a serious way all around the world, that even just a child is born and he's just 3 to 5 years, and parent think, okay, go to school, go. Okay, so education is like a starting, a beginning point in everybody's career. And in India, I know in our culture in India, even a child is 3 years old, and he's going to school, preschool or school, though here the age is 5 to 6 year when people when children goes to school here. Okay, so altogether a child is ready from 3 to 4 years to take the education, to educate himself and learn the new things. And our teachers, when they prepare, they do our children to that extent, from a kindergarten to the university level. I think they are the best gurus, I think, in our lives. We all have got education, and what we are today, it is because of our tutors, because they have we have a teaching in such a way that to uplift humanity, to uplift ourselves. Our teachers has taught us so many things. Now with advent of this technology, and I must thanks to this COVID thing, we have learned how to attend the meetings, how to sit in front of a computer or mobile phones, and listen to the technology, what is being said thousands and thousands of miles away here and there. And our students have learned this technique in past 2 years. Our teachers has learned this technique in past 2 years, that, oh, this is also a new way of education. Even if a person is somewhere else, you can teach him so many things. Now when Academy has come, Ash has rightly bring on to this product of Academy. And what I see is that Academy is going to be one of the biggest product of OnPassive, no doubt, biggest part. Because when I say that a child 3 or 4 or 5 years, he's put into education, and now with the advent of technology, when a child is getting a better form of education, maybe early in this stage in his life, or after schooling, after graduating, he's now having a tool in front of him in form of Academy or any online education. So now he has to explore the things from his desktop or in front of his screen itself. Now he didn't want to go to US or Canada or England or so many places to learn education for higher education. But in front of his screen, he has so many possibilities. And with the coming of
Sorry, your voice is breaking up, Muswinder.
also learned that how to teach a student in front of a screen. So altogether combined will produce such a huge amount of I can say education revolution around the world, because Academy is providing such a tools that a teacher is happy, a student is happy, because onto one screen there are so many possibilities in Academy that they can explore. Because I know the young generation, they are so much creative. They want to do something. So once they are in front of their screen, the Academy is there. So where there are so many possibilities, now their creative minds comes out, and they will do something good, not for them, but for society as a whole. And on to get, there are teachers also now the teachers, they have their Academy in front of them. They are, because they are experienced, they are tutors. Now their mind can be more creative to teach the students how to like any course of with their own development, with their own course, they can teach those students around the world on a one click of their mouse. So altogether, when we see this all revolution going on and on and on, not in whole world, but into educations, and with our tutors, with so much of their experience in life, when I see mostly like 55 or 60 years, they retire and just sit in their houses. But now with this technology, again, now they have a time, okay, and they have the resource, okay. Now they have their screen in front of it. So now the retired persons, retired tutors also have creativity in front of them, and now with their experience they can also have a whole world in front of them. I think it's a win-win situation for students, for tutors, and the as a general society as a whole. So I'm so excited about this product, and this is a revolutionized product. I can 100% say this. Once it gets going, I think sky is the limit. It will be like a overnight hit all around the education field, because the possibility has come in front of us. And just with the advent of technology, we are already 2 years old in this technology of using these online platforms. Those who were not knowing, they are also now teaching so many things online. So I'm so excited with all this product and Academy. And once again, thank you, because I heard all the panelists and got so many education from then Sudarshan was talking flawlessly. You know, I like he talked. Darrell was talking with his the place where he's staying. So much of possibilities around us. So we are all in learning process, and we are already every time we learn from our educators. And so thankful to every panelist, everyone for this such a wonderful discussion. Thank you, Neeraj.
Thank you, Guspinder. Anybody else wants to talk? Or shall we go ahead and end the session?
Yeah, Darrell has something. So
okay.
Yeah, Niraj, just listening to Gersminder and to Mr. Kumar, one thing that I'd like to just bring up as an educator for those listening, and I think it extends to all of us. Who can say right here on this panel that you didn't engage in some sense of self-evaluation while this was going on? I think we all do that.
We all,
and
yeah.
I asked Mr. Mufara if there was a way that Academy and O staff would provide for some kind of testing and grading. And boy, he came right back and he said, you know, that's one thing that it's always upset him throughout, you know, his career. And he says, why do we have to grade? And I know where that was coming from. So I'm tutoring right now. My grandson's wonderfully happy, I'm sure, because Papa's not in the classroom right now. But unfortunately, his online education system grades on a very limited structure. It's mostly multiple choice. There's some essay, but if you have a math problem, there's multiple steps. If he gets one little thing wrong, well, the only answer he has is the answer, and there's no way to evaluate the process. Okay, so there's a limitation there. So what I wanted to say is that I've thought a lot about this. Mr. Mufara challenged me to try to come up with a better grading system. There's no better grading system than self-evaluation. So where am I going with this? If you take on passive, and in America, when I was starting to phase out of education, they came up with a wonderful thing. It's called a portfolio. And we all are familiar with that. That's a self-evaluation. But what do you do with it? All right. So now with on passive, I think the students are going, and the teachers are going to be able to engage not only in that liberal arts element, that multicultural element. Imagine now if we provide that student a way to present his portfolio so that there can be critiques from others in a very non-obtrusive, non-abusive way. It'll be monitored. But I think with a lot of collaboration and a lot of cross-cultural thinking, this whole idea of, number one, education doesn't stop at 12th grade. It doesn't stop at the end of the university. And who cares about the title? We can all put a title. Here's the title, me. And where do I fit in this world? How can I engage what I've learned to be a productive human being and make civilization further advance into the next generation? And so could we, continue that idea of how can OnPassive provide the grading system through self-evaluation and start eliminating time frames? We're all aging. So if I gain this much knowledge by the time I'm ready to go out into the workforce, so be it. Take what I've learned, whatever level, the farmer. Okay, the farmer comes out of the agricultural world, the agrarian world. Well, you know what? Tremendous skills, discipline, understanding the world. OnPassive now will provide him an educational platform. Not only can he become or she become the teacher, the expert, and the learner. Does it make sense where I'm going? So he or she is self-evaluating and just keeps moving forward and forward. And we get rid of this government idea that we're going to teach them this because this is what the government wants. No, we want to know what the people want. So I really see a whole evolution moving forward. I hope I hope the supreme being, whatever we want to call him or her or whatever, I know what I believe, but I am hoping I get another 30 years because I want to engage in that. I hope I didn't take too long.
Just a minute, Neeraj.
Sure.
Wonderful sharing, sir. It was really wonderful. We believe that each and every individual is a student for throughout the life. And as I said, we are going to have a longer span to teach. Even every individual will have a longer span to learn, and for each and every aspect. Because now our policies have been changed. We don't consider art, science and commerce separately. Whatever subject you want, you can learn. And Academy is going to give you a wide spectrum to choose your subjects, irrespective of whether you are learning or adopting that specific subject in the university. That would be the great part. And I would like to focus on one point, that we are talking on the technology and Academy and OConnect. If someone is going to think to join for this learning platform, if they want to work as a teachers or the educators, see to it that no more confusion in mind that there won't be any technical part that you have to work on that. Chatbots would be there to help you. You are going to work as facilitator. Chatbots are going to help for whatever technical error or whatever things. There would be only concentration on the learning and teaching only. So the academy is going to provide you such a platform that you need not worry about the things which we are talking intricately about the technology. And one part we are talking about, we know that we have right to information, and we in India at least we have RTE, that is right to education. But Academy and OConnect is going to give us right to education plus right to earn. It's an added factor. So no one has given this. We are talking about the parallel e-learning platforms. I think so, Sudarshan sir, no? Yes, Sudarshan sir, but he was talking about e-learning platforms. E-learning platforms, we know it very well. N number of e-learning platforms are emerging. It's a trendy business. Not a single e-learning platform is giving the payment to the students. Academy is going to give this because you are a customer. So it's a very, why we are proud of OnPassive, because not only right to education, right to earn, right of equality. As sir always talks about humanity, that is what each and every tool you take it is linked with humanity. We are talking about integration. It is already integrated with humanity. So that was wonderful sharing. Thank you for giving me a chance again, Neeraj. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mamta ji. So, any of the leaders, or will end the session here? Yeah, I think we will end the session unless Kaushik, shall we go ahead and end the session?
Yes, Neeraj, it was really a fantastic session. Congrats everyone, and really it was very informative. And let's keep doing this kind of session. Salute to you, Neeraj ji, and all the panelists. Thank you.
Welcome. Mukund, since he switched on his camera, does he want to talk?
No.
Okay. So once again, it was a pleasure. It was, I can call this as a brainstorming session rather than maybe just sharing. It was a brainstorming session.
Brainstorming session.
Exactly.
It's the
Exactly.
only.
Yeah. So I'm sure we will have much more topics in the near future, and we will connect and collaborate, and definitely everyone will succeed. So thank you all the panelists. Thank you for all the people who attended. Thank you for all the people who are going to watch it on YouTube. I hope that this will be very helpful for you all guys. So thank you once again, and we will end this particular webinar by our slogan. So we are so in it to win it. So
Yes, we are so in it to win it.
To win it.
Yeah, so in it to win it.
Yes,
Thank
so
you.
in it.
So in it to win it. And
Thank you,
thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you so
And on
much.
behalf of Kaushik,
To all of you.
Thank you.
Yes, so in it to win it. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
Shubhraत्री.